And Himena's so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, she's so awesome. Like, how many men's wrists are we gonna have to sacrifice to make her look so fine? How many will it take? I'll give up my own wrist. Take my wrist, Himeno. Just take it. I need you to be beautiful. What am I expecting for the Chainsaw Man PV? The only thing I'm looking into is if the sound design is good, they might animate like a fight scene or like Denji revving up and transforming. You know, the funny thing is we're not gonna know what the hell they're saying. I doubt they're gonna have English subs. This is just the life of an animator. You know, he got his coffee, he's got his like brush strokes. Man, if only it was that romanticized. The thing is that it's probably gonna look good. It's just the production is probably gonna get criticized heavily based on like, you know, because it's Mappa, and Mappa's not really known for, you know, fair treatment of workers. I like the fact that he has a straw coming out of his water bottle. I respect that. I wonder how long this conference is gonna be. I hope it's not too long. Like, Chainsaw Man's gonna have a lot of people watching. It's gonna have people that read the manga, obviously. It's a Shonen Jump anime, so it's gonna already have the shonen audience. It's edgy, so it's got the edgy audience, especially right after Attack on Titan ended. It's gonna have the waifu audience, and there's fan service. So it's gonna have those kind of people. It's gonna have a very diverse audience watching Chainsaw Man, so there is the potential that it might be the next big thing. Like, I'm expecting CG in the Chainsaw Man trailer. Look, the CG looks really good, actually. Like, this isn't too bad. This is really good. I hope it's consistent. That's the one thing I hope for an adaptation of Chainsaw Man. I hope it's consistent. I love how, like, no one in chat is Japanese. But I actually like the idea that no one in Japan actually gives a shit. Wow! This is not true. I'm sure they do. As Makima's trending, dogs are trending. Why is dogs considered food trending? What the f? 15 to 2030? Scheduled to end at 2030? That's 5 hours. This is gonna last 5 hours? Four unfortunate souls that end up spending 4 hours watching press conferences of Mappa. You know, you could have just waited. All right. Ooh, did you see that? Did you see that mouse? Moved really well. Blood. All right. Denji, yeah. All right. Okay. Oh, okay, the music. Yeah. No, why did the quality go to God damn it, I hate Twitter. Power, Nyanko. Okay. Alright, food looks good. Yo, what the wow! Is that a beach episode? I don't remember beach. Yoko Betty looks so good. Oh, Himeno, our girl. Wait, why is the quality so wow? What the f going on? Oh. Wow. Oh. Wow. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god, it looks so good. Oh my god. Oh, it looks so good. And you hear the chainsaw revs. Ooh. Now the question is the PB trailer gonna be accurate when it comes to when the anime comes out? Just because this trailer looks good doesn't mean the anime is gonna look good. It just means that this is what they want the anime to look. See, things can happen. All right, this anime looks very ambitious. It looks so good though. It's so good, oh my god. Look at this guy, he's so cool. Well, in terms of the trailer, I'm hyped. I can see why they would save this for last. It's worth it. That means Fujimoto's probably gonna be interviewed live and get to see what it looks like. It's 4 in the morning. We'll look into it more later. She's so good. All right, I'm hyped. I'm going back to sleep. I know what you're thinking. You probably saw like my first reaction when I was half asleep and I just woke up comfy as wow, and I fell asleep and then woke up 2 hours later. Now it's time to actually watch this, maybe frame by frame, basically frame by frame, to see what we are going to expect, what we should be concerned about, and if we should be adequately hyped for the masterpiece that might come. Because from what we've seen and the initial reactions and the people that are on staff, it looks pretty good. It looks like Chainsaw Man is about to be, quite, dare I say, goated. As the kids say. Ratio that with a like button. Yeah, I said it. Anyway, so we're just gonna go through it. I'm sure you've already seen it if you're here. If not, welcome. This is Chainsaw Man. I'll try not to spoil anything. I'm gonna imply a lot of things, and I won't use correct terminology. I know what the actual terms are, but I'm not gonna say it just to avoid spoilers, because some people, you know, they don't want to be spoiled about like what this person's name is, or you know what? And that's fair. Obviously, for the main characters, I'll just say their names because, you know, it's not really a spoiler to know what their names are. But in terms of like their abilities and all that, and like what they call their enemies, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Just apply a lot of things. So if you know, you know. If you don't, get excited if you're planning on watching this anime. So let's start. All right. So the first thing we would note is that it does start off with like digital rewind sound that you'd probably hear from old TVs, and that's probably a good thing because that gives me a sign that it's going to focus on the sound design. And that's the one thing I really care about, is if the sound design is good. I mean, everyone cares about visuals. I care about the sound because sound is way more important. It's very underappreciated, and we don't know the release date, which is also a good thing because it gives us the assumption that they might take their time to make this as good as possible. And the other good thing is that COVID is pretty much manageable now. I think they pretty much figured out how to work with COVID, so we're not going to have any sort of X-Arm related shenanigans, hopefully. And then we get introduced to Denji, get more crazy sound effects. We get this nice scene here. That could be blood or alcohol. I'll leave that for your interpretation. But I think the most important thing to know is that the close-ups look really good. Like, the shading and the lighting looks so good. You know how video games have RTX? This is what it looks like when you turn RTX on for anime. That's what I think. That's what I see. Every time I see, like, the shine, I just think, oh my god, this looks like you need to have a freaking RTX 3090 to watch this anime properly. Which I don't have. Alright, so I don't speak Japanese, so I can't really read that. Or read Japanese. I'm illiterate. So we're not going to talk about Denji's mouth. You can make whatever theory you want about why he has fangs instead of regular teeth. It's just a character design, but you know, you can come up with your theories as why he looks like this. Oh, here's the cafe. You know. Oh, let's just mention the music. It's the same composer from Devilman Crybaby, probably the best anime that Netflix has ever produced. The composer's name is Kensuke Ushio. And actually, if you look at the staff, it's pretty stacked. There's a lot of names that have worked on huge animes. There's no shortage of talent here. Chainsaw Man has all the big guys working on this. Like, there are no newbies, except maybe the director's his first time, I think. Yeah, all these people have a lot of experience, and I'm sure they'll add a lot to the show. All right, more close-ups. Close-ups look good. Like I said, the water looks great. But, you know, these are just still frames. So, okay, and now we have our main characters. We have Denji, our main guy. I'm not going to say what his personality's like, whatever, but just know he's pretty important. We got Nyanko, equally just important. The cat is very important, plays a huge role in everything. It's not just a cat. The cat is very important. And we got Power. But I think the interesting thing is that Power's design is a bit different. Well, I think all the designs are a little bit different. They're a lot more softer compared to the manga, which obviously, because I love Fujimoto and I like his art, but his art can be a bit rough, and it's fair to criticize his art. It's not as good as, you know, other mangas. But that's fine because his art's good enough to tell the story that he wants to tell, and it works. And so yeah, we got Power. She'll be lovable. Best girl. You'll probably see waifus. We got Aki. Best boy. In terms of like comedy roles, he'll be more of the straight man between these two shenanigans. There's gonna be a lot of slice of life moments. You'll get a chance to bond with these characters. Obviously, like, the trailer's implying like horror and like dark stuff, but it strikes a nice balance. And sometimes it can be very interesting how they can blend genres. If you've seen Super Cup, you know what I mean. Food. And then, okay, here's the interesting thing. Not only, first of all, Kobeni looks amazing. Secondly, this is something that's not in the manga. At least I don't think there was a beach episode. I would remember if there was a beach episode, but I don't think there was. But this leads me to believe that there's going to be extra scenes, or at least they might be planning on putting extra scenes. I guess you would call it filler, technically. But I would probably go with the more Boruto route and call it anime original content. And it makes sense because I'm going to assume they're probably going to adapt up to half of Volume 5, the end of that arc in Volume 5. And Chainsaw Man is very fast-paced, and it's a very short manga. And if they're going to do 26 episodes or 24, I assume they're probably going to need to like pad out certain episodes with like extra scenes, maybe to add extra context, maybe to give like more levity and bonding, get a chance to know characters, or maybe it could be a completely different thing. This may not be like a typical thing, because if you know, I don't think certain characters would interact in this manner, but we'll see what happens. I'm interested in seeing like how the anime tackles these extra scenes. And there's a lot of this like TV static transitions. Fujimoto really loves films, and I think TV might fall under that category sometimes too. But this television static aesthetic kind of important if you want to determine when this anime would take place. And look at our girl power. But look at this water specifically. Oh, wow. It looks so good. The water's really good. The backgrounds look good. And the crazy thing is that you get anime eyes. So crazy. And her hair isn't as pink as I thought it would be, but maybe it's just the lighting. Okay, so here's an interesting scene. We have a man with a cigarette and my favorite girl. Yeah, this woman, this beautiful woman. Her name is Himeno. And fun fact, she is the reason why I'm reading this, why I read the manga. I caught a random page in a one-page thread, and I saw it, and I was like, that's interesting. Let me check it out. And I read it, and I loved it. And it's all because of her. If you know that specific page, you'll know. Now, interesting enough, this is another interesting scene. Technically, that does happen, but it's something different. Now, I'm not sure if they're just doing this because they're trying to, like, you know, avoid spoiling, which, fair enough. If you're at the manga, you know what the scene is supposed to be, and you'll notice it'd be very different from what it actually is. But I think it's because it's probably more extra content. But I think the one thing we should notice is that they have beautiful eyes. This anime has some beautiful ass anime eyes. And Himena's so goddamn gorgeous. Oh my gosh, she's so awesome. Like, how many men's wrists are we gonna have to sacrifice to make her look so damn fine? How many will it take? I'll give up my own wrist. Take my wrist, Himeno. Just take it. I need you to be beautiful. All right, and this is interesting. So we have her going for a kiss, and then it like transitions out of the TV. It's pretty old school. There's a VCR and everything. Most people don't know what it is. You got a paint roller. I don't know why there are paint rollers there. Oh, okay. But yeah, the transition out of TV. I'm not sure what that implies. Maybe it implies that, you know, it's not real because it's on TV, and you know, TV shows are fictional, at least some of them, so who knows. Which now that I think about it, if we go back to like those extra scenes that I mentioned that aren't in the manga, and we put it in the context that being displayed as a fictional TV show, those things don't actually happen. That's just fiction. So when we come out of the TV, we get back to reality, and I guess that makes a lot more sense because the next few scenes are pretty morbid, but it's the reality. Yeah, I came back to do a post commentary about that. The general pacing and vibe of this is really good. I'm enjoying it. All right, so now we have our enemies. This is probably the hotel arc. This is a cemetery. It's a great place to go when you want to meet girls and get laid. I don't think it's going to adapt the whole manga. I don't believe so. There's so much I want to talk about, but I just don't want to spoil it. Okay, so here is a house being destroyed in the snow. This will most likely be a flashback to a certain character, because I don't think they're going to be adapting that later part of the manga. But no, this is probably a flashback. All right, so here's Shadman. And more characters that are going to be important, obviously. These guys will come later. Now, that's the one thing. Is it going to be 13 or 24? Because if it's 13 and they adapt up to Volume 5, that's going to be pretty rough. So I'm assuming it's 24. So these people won't show up until way later. But it's good that these people are here, because now we know the stopping point of the anime. At least it's for season 1. And that's a good stopping point if you read the manga. All right, and here's the door, the famous door. Here's our boy Denji and our beautiful boy Pochita. And look at the fit, my dude. Look at this fit. He's got big ol'... Are those Converses? Looks nice. Oh, and here comes our babe. All right, so This is happening really fast. We got our main girl here. She got that woof woof. She got the woof woof eyes. Woof. Woof. And then here's our boy revving up. And then here's some action. One thing to note is that all the debris are like cube shaped. I wonder if it's the guy that does like the action scenes that always use cubes. I mean, you've probably seen it in My Hero and probably Boruto. I don't know his name. I think the action director worked on Black Clover. And Black Clover has some good action scenes. And also the music is very high intense. You probably won't be able to hear it because I'm going to be pausing a lot. But just so you know, the music is intense. And that, we got this cool ass Aki pulling out his sword. He looks cool. We got Kishibe. He's a funny character. Music's good. We got power with the hammer. Yep. Okay, so that's interesting. So we got power, which is cute. We got our chainsaw man fighting a bat. And well, the chainsaws are still 2D. It's a bit off model, obviously, because we're going. It's an in between. And it looks smooth in motion, so that's good. And then here's oh, what the fuck is that? I didn't know that had nipples. That's weird. Here's another monster being fought. Yep. Looks good. Step in on the entrails. Now, obviously, it looks better in motion. Okay, so our breast girl Himeno. Look at that. Silly boy. I love the character design. I was hoping that it wouldn't be overly detailed, because if it was overly detailed, that would be problematic when it comes to like animating it. So that's good that it's really simple. All right, so here we go. We got Denji and Makima, and there's Makima doing Makima things and Denji doing doggy things. There's context. Oh, I don't know. Well, technically the context doesn't make it better, but it's context. You'll get your fan service. I'll tell you one thing. Chainsaw Man has good fan service, but it's purposeful. It's not like fan service where it's like, oh, panty shot. There's like a purpose. It adds to the story, which is very surprising, I know, but it does. This adds to the story. If you don't believe me, just find out when this episode comes out. It adds to the story. In fact, this is actually really important. So, I totally forgot how important that scene is, actually. All right, anyway. So here we go. So we got full Chainsaw Man fighting enemies, and he looks like CG. Yeah, he definitely looks CG, which is fine. Well, this one I can't tell if it's a drawing or CG, but like I'm imagining that some aspects are going to be CG. But if you've seen like the way he fights, it's very like, it's not like martial arts. It's very simple, coordinated strikes like a video game. So the CG would be manageable, because we've seen what happens when they try to do, you know, motion capture martial arts. It looks really good, except it doesn't. Like, you got the movements right, but, you know, the overall look wasn't that great. And then you got the sound. Oh, my God. Yeah, I think this is 2D, actually. I can't tell, actually. Could be a mix, you know. And then Chainsaw Man. Cool. And then you hear the revving of the chainsaws. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It revs. The revving. Yep. Yep. And then here's the staff list. Isn't that crazy? These are the people that worked on this PV. You don't actually see that. That's crazy. Now, I don't know who these people are, because I can't read. Yeah, so there is 3D CG. That was the PV, or teaser trailer. This doesn't mean that this is what the anime looks like. This was actually made before they started production, possibly. The staff is probably still the same. That's the one thing to know, is that the people that made this PV are making the anime. And the hope is that the anime actually looks like the trailer. Like, that's the hope. We're probably not going to get an Attack on Titan situation, because Attack on Titan is like a brilliant plan to make as much money as possible. They had a strict deadline to have the anime, or at least that season, end before the ending of the manga, so they can maximize money. I mean, there's probably many theories as to why Mappa decided to take the job, but I think the main reason is because they wanted the anime to like end 1 month before the final chapter, so that people would just purchase the manga and just read it. And then if the ending sucked or was controversial, then they've already made their money. So, which is a messed up thing to think about, but the capitalist in me is just appreciating the genius. Now, obviously, the creative me is like kind of pissed off how you basically had to sacrifice like the quality of a show and people's well-beings, by the way, just to make as much money as possible. But, you know, I'm sure most people don't really care. because that's just the thing in entertainment. No one ever cares about like how it's made. It's just what it looks like in the end is what people actually see. No one's gonna see all like the struggle, the blood, the sweat and tears that go into the making of it. They only see like if it looks good or if it looks bad. Then if it looks bad, people start caring about the production. But when it looks good, no one actually cares. So that's the catch-22 on that one. I don't know if that's going to happen with Chainsaw Man. I think Chainsaw Man will be fine. We don't really know what's coming out, so maybe they'll have more time to work on it. I mean, it's very ambitious. There's so much talent that is on this. And they're probably all fans of Chainsaw Man. There's probably a lot of freelancers that are willing to work on this show too. So I don't think it has any shortage of help. Let's just hope it just doesn't kill anyone. As much as I love the idea of like Chainsaw Man being created off the dreams of broken artists and because it would be very meta, I don't want that meta to come true. So the other thing we want to talk about is when is Chainsaw Man Part 2 gonna come out? And that hasn't had a release date. I know Fujimoto has like a one shot that's separate that he's gonna release on July, but in terms of the actual Chainsaw Man Part 2 being published, I'm going to assume it's probably come out around the time the anime comes out, because if you think like a businessman, and Mappa loves making businessmen's dreams come true, I can imagine it coming out like either a month before the anime, or maybe during the anime, or maybe like right after the anime finishes, because then you have all the hype, you have the fan base. Yeah, so that was my, I guess, analysis of the Chainsaw Man trailer. I'm very optimistic that it'll look good. I mean, obviously, it's a Shonen Jump anime. It's gonna look good. But anyway, thank you all for watching. If you're excited for Chainsaw Man, please like the video and leave a comment and subscribe if you're at it. And if you can read the manga and you can buy it, you should buy it because it's really good. And I hope you have a good day. Bye.